Could surfing bring peace to the Middle East? A new documentary takes a hard look at that question.
Yeah, and strangely enough, surfers seem to be having a strong impact in the nation of Israel, bringing Muslim, Jews, and Christians together. It is most likely the most unique perspective of a land torn apart by war and dissension. Israel through the eyes of surfers? Yep, that's the subject of a brand new documentary called Promised Land.
There happens to be a really good reef break.
It's waves and war.
As surprising as it may seem for many around the world, surfers have been riding the waves in this tiny nation off the Mediterranean coast for decades. 91-year-old Dorian Paskowitz was, by all accounts, the first to tackle the Israeli surf.
1956, 57, there were 7 surfers that I had taught to surf.
The new documentary, Promised Land, produced by the San Diego-based production company Walking on Water Films, has had several screenings thus far with solid reviews. It cuts deep, looking at the various divisions in this land scarred by decades of suffering, missile attacks, bombings, and the political fights over its holy capital.
I've always loved Israel. I've always loved the Jewish people.
The story focuses on 2 men, one a Christian, Todd Moorhead, a surfer from Southern California.
Surfing, it's a bridge over socioeconomic barriers, religion, language. Doesn't matter. Status, it doesn't matter because we're all surfers.
The other, a Jewish surfboard shaper named Hani from Israel.
Peace is going to happen, but we need that everybody surf first.
As I spoke with Moorhead, Paskowitz, and the film's producer, Brian Jennings, on a California beach, they all revealed their determination to make this film raw and honest, and to shed light on why surfers seem to be able to bring more peace to Israel, at least to their surfing community, than politicians, bombs, and mortars.
You're not a Jewish surfer, an Arab surfer, an American surfer. You're just a surfer, you know, and you're enjoying the ocean.
It's something most people don't think about when they think of the country of Israel, that there are actually surfers there surfing on the Mediterranean Sea. But it turns out there's a lot of surfers in Israel, about 25,000 people, and it's opening up a new dialogue between Christians, Muslims, and the Jews.
This is where Yeshua gives this famous, what they call the Olivet Discourse.
I think it definitely opens up that dialogue, and now Todd and Hani have that friendship, and that simple friendship, that one true friendship, has now created hundreds of friendships.
Former world champion surfer Tom Curran, a Christian himself, plays a major role in this film, capping his week-long surf trip to Israel by spending a full day searching for a young Muslim surfer to give him one of his own surfboards.
Just looking for this one kid that lives here and surfs at this point break. I noticed the kid surfs pretty good, and his board was kind of beat up.
In the end, the film doesn't solve all the problems, but it seems to highlight one small solution to at least help open the dialogue between friends, enemies, men of different faiths, to seek some realm of peace.
I don't think surfing will bring peace to the Middle East, but there's a good chance to spend quality time with people that you don't share the same culture.
All right, and you've got a chance to see it tonight, actually for free. It's Promised Land will be held tonight at the La Jolla Museum of Contemporary Art at 5 o'clock, then another screening at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, it is free. And for more information on this, go to their website. It's promisedlandthemovie.com. And I was mentioning, Bridget, that this is a real honest look at this film. I watched the documentary a couple of times, real honest look at Israel. And they look at Muslims, they look at Christians, they look at Jews, and the kind of the dissension between them all. But it also looks at atheists. There's a large population in Israel that just simply, they don't believe in God, and bringing them into the picture. So all of them getting together, having this dialogue.
Right.
And the one common thread throughout this thing is that they all surf.
The common ground that they found is that, and therefore it kind of breaks through some of the barriers. You're more able to talk openly and accept ideas from people that you identify with in a different way. And, and so your defenses, I think, are down in that case.
Well, when you're out in the water, like Brian Jennings said, that when you're out in the water, you're off the land there, you're all surfing together, and the conversation does come up. You know, you're a Christian, or you're Jewish, or you're Muslim. Why do you believe what you believe? And they talk about it, and they realize, hey, we're all just people, just trying to find our own way here.
And a lot of the ideas are very common anyway. It's just the being good and kind, and all those values are a lot of the time. I mean, that's across the board. So
I think that's the heart of the issue.
Across the board.
Across the surfboard, they had a board meeting on the water.
What a great piece. Again, the documentary is tonight, right?
Tonight at the La Jolla Museum of Contemporary Art, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. It is free of charge. Pretty cool.
Great.
Yep. Hey, guess what? Also tonight, the San Diego State Aztecs. They tipped off last night against Colorado State, but tonight they got a big game coming up.
That's right.